Okay, so if you remember a couple videos ago, I kind of explained my whole grand strategy, the four categories of hand. You got your value bets, your okay hands, your medium strength hands, your draws, which you bluff, and then your garbage, which you fold, right? The value bets, you bet you want the other guy to call. Medium strength hands, you check, you hope they bluff, and then you call them. Draws, you bluff, and then trash, you fold, right? So what does that look like kind of on different streets of the hand, right? Because you're not going to be betting with the same hands on the flop all the time that you're going to bet on the turn, right? Sometimes you're going to bet on the turn, give up on bet the flop, give up the turn, check the flop, bet the turn. There are various combinations of things you're going to do. So here's a pretty simple situation. It's we're at the river, and we have a hand that you would want to bet for value here. Ace King is the sort of hand you would want to bet for value, right? You probably bet it on the flop, and then you kept firing on the turn, and you're going to fire again on the river. Okay, let's say that the pot is $10. Very weird that the pot would be $10, but let's just say it is for the simplicity of math, right? And let's assume that my hand is better than the other guys, right? Just for simplicity's sake, we're going to assume my hand's better. My hand's good. So I'm going to value bet here. Let's say I bet $10. So I bet $10 into a pot of 10. What does that look like from the other guy's perspective? We're saying he's in the hand. Well, what is he risking and what does he stand to gain? Well, if he decides to call and his hand's better, he'll win $20. He'll win the $20 in the middle. If he calls and he's no good, then he loses 10, right? So he's risking 10 to win 20. So what percentage of the time, what chunk of the time does he need to be good? Well, I already did a little bit of this math here, but so if he stands to gain $20 and stands to lose 10, if he is only going to win just 1/3 of the time, so 1/3 of the time he wins $20, 2/3 of the time he loses 10, that's going to balance out and he'll break even. So if he's good more than 1/3 of the time, he should call in this situation. So what if he's good half the time? If he's good half the time he's going to win $20. Half the time he's going to lose 10. So -5. On net, he's +5 for calling. So if I bet the size of the pot, the other guy should call if he thinks he has at least a 1/3 chance of winning, right? All right, let's say instead of betting 10 into 10, let's say I bet 5 into 10. Okay, what's it look like from the other guy's perspective now? Now, if he calls and wins, he's going to be +15, right? There's $15 in the pot. If he calls and loses, he's only going to lose $5, right? So what percentage of the time, what chunk of the time does he need to be good in order to justify a call here? Well, I would think it would be, you'd want to be good at least 1/4 of the time, right? 1/4 of the time you get $15. 3/4 of the time you lose 5. Okay, so that's going to come out to 15 over 4. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 over 4 minus 15 over 4 is 0. So if he's good better than 1/4 of the time, he should call, right? So what we want to do, being the person betting, is in any given spot, we want to have a certain number of bluffs for every value bet we have, right? So this is a slam dunk value bet. Ace King in this situation, I'm value betting, right? So if I'm going to bet, going back to the original example, I bet $10, right? So we said this guy needs to have, better than a 1/3 chance to profitably call. We want exactly 1/3 of our bets to be bluffs. This is how we figure out the bluff to value ratio. It's kind of like looking at it from the other guy's perspective. It's like, okay, what odds does he have to call? All right, we want enough bluffs in our range so that he can't really exploit us, right? So if we're in this position and for every 2 value bets we have 1 bluff, we're not unbalanced and he can't go, oh, this guy always bluffs, so I'm going to call, or this guy always value bets, so I'm going to fold. He's kind of just going with his best guess. So thinking back to the previous video I made about combos, how many combos of Ace King are there? Well, there's 4 aces, there's 4 kings, except one of them's right there. So you'd say, like, in the whole deck, there's 16 combos of ace king, but really there's 12 in this situation because there's 4 times 3, right? Okay, so we've got 12 value bets. 12V. And let's see, what's a hand that I might potentially bluff here that I would have bluffed on the flop? Well, I probably would have bluffed with 7-6 suited, right? That would get me, because that'd be an up and down straight draw. Okay, I missed the turn, but I'm going to keep bluffing. Miss the river, keep bluffing. Okay, so there's a hand that I would bluff, and there's 4 combos of that. So 4 bluffs. That's still not enough. I could add one more. I could say probably 6-4. The same thing would happen, right? So on the flop, I have a gut shot, right? 4, 5, 6, blank, 8. I need that 7. Then the turn comes, brings a 3. Okay, now a 2 is good for me, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hand 6-4 suited, I'm definitely going to be bluffing. So, all right, there's 4 more combos, right? That looks like a little kid wrote it, whatever. Now I'm at 8 bluffs, right? And 12 value bets. That's kind of unbalanced. So maybe I decide that, like, I only bluff half my 6-4s, right? Maybe I don't know. I decide, okay, 6-4 of clubs and spades, I'll bluff. 6-4 of hearts and diamonds, I'll check. Or you could throw in another value betting hand into your range. Like, I would still be value betting king queen here, right? I'm thinking king queen's going to be good most of the time. So then, okay, well. Okay, so now I have 24 value bets in my range, right? Well, then I need to have 12 bluffs. So let's find one more bluff. Let's see, I already said 7-6, 6-4. Maybe, probably, let me think, does this work? I think I would bluff, what did I do, 9-6 here, 9-7. There's a hand I would bluff. I don't know. Let's just say I was going to bluff 9-7 here, right? You got to pick something. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to bluff 9-7. My bluffs here are 7-6 suited, 6-4 suited, and 9-7 suited. There you go. And we see why those suited connectors, suited one gappers are important to have in your range, because those are usually going to be the hands you bluff with, right? Okay, well, there you go. I've got 24 value bets, and I've got... Come on now, come on now. $12 bluffs. There you go. I swear there was like a way that I'd have like a double-barreled gut shot on this board, but maybe not. Whatever. Okay. So yeah, so that's what it would look like on the river. So let's back up to the turn. Okay, let's take this money back. So we know we have these hands. The hands I have listed is the ones that I'm value betting is ace king and king queen. I mean, obviously I'm value betting pocket fives, pocket eights, pocket kings, pocket threes, right? But just for simplicity's sake, and my my bluff range is this 7-6, this 9-7, and this 6-4. Okay, that's my bluffs and my value bet range. Well, this together equals 36 hands, right? So I've got 36 hands I'm going to bet on the river. Let's say that on the flop, well, there wouldn't have been $10 in there, would there be? Let's just say that there was, I don't know, to simplify it, let's say there was $5 in the pot for whatever reason. And I'm deciding to, say my bet I decide to do is $250. I'm going to bet half pot, right? Okay, so once again, if you're going to bet half pot, so I'm risking $250. Excuse me. The other guy, if he calls, is risking $250 to win 5, right? So he could win 5. He could lose $250. Okay, well, what percentage of the time does he need to be good? I think this looks a lot like this one, right? Where you got to be good excuse me, he's not risking 250 to win 5, he's risking 250 to win 750. Okay. That's why it looks like this one. So if he's good 1/4 of the time, he's good, right? This will come out to 750 over 4. 3 times 250 is 750 over 4. If you don't trust my math, Google it, but just go with me for here. So I'm betting this 250. So that means that 1/4 of the hands in my range need to be bluffs, right? So we're going to call these 36 hands my value bets, even though these hands aren't actually value bets. The reason I'm calling them value bets is they're the hands that I intend to bluff, that I intend to bet on the river, right? So backing up, and I'm deciding to bet half pot here. I need, for every 3 hands I intend to continue the river with, I need 1 hand that I'm bluffing here, and then I'll give up. So that would be 36 to 12, breaks down to 3 to 1, right? So I need 12 bluffs in my range. Well, what's some bluffs I could have? Well, probably a flush draw, right? If I have any 2 hearts, that's going to be good for a bluff here, right? So I don't know. Let's say, and I'm assuming these are the hands where I don't have a pair, right? So let's find 12 heart hands. Okay, I got 12. It's got Queen Jack of Hearts, Queen 10 of Hearts, Queen 9 of Hearts. We already have an 8 out there, so Queen 7, Queen 6. Okay, let's see. Jack 10, Jack 9, Jack 7, 10 9, 10 7, and then you could have 9. I already said we're bluffing all the 9 7s, so 9 6, and then maybe I already have an 8. Already bluffing 7 6 suited. What else could I bluff here? 6 4. I'm already doing. I said 9 6. 8's on the board. 6 4 7 4. Yeah, it's kind of, see, this is the funny thing. It actually gets hard to build a range here, right? Let's say I bluff ace deuce suited here. I don't like bluffing my ace high flush draws, and the reason for that is that a good chunk of the time your ace high hands are already good. But if I'm just trying to build out a range where I have 12 bluffs, there you go. There's my 12 bluffs in my range. So I do that. He calls, and we go to the river. Once again, backing up to the flop. Backing up to the flop. So I have the hands that I'm going to bet on the turn, right? I mean, I don't even know that these are going to be turned into flush draws. So let's say, you know, I'm probably on this board, I'm betting a lot of hands that have backdoor flush draws, right? Like I got 2 hearts, I got 2 spades, 2 diamonds, whatever. And let's say that what's in the pot currently is, I don't know, there's $1 in the pot. Or sorry, $2 in the pot. And I'm going to bet $2, right? Well, that'd be a full pot size bet, right? So once again, the other guy is risking $2 to win 4, right? So he could win 4, he could lose 2, okay? What odds are we getting on this? Well, this is going to be 1/3, right? He needs to be good 1/3 of the time. Hard to write when I'm holding my phone. It'll come up to 4/3 minus 4/3. It's going to be 0. So remember, I have 36 plus 12. I have 48 hands. I intend to bluff on the turn. Well, bet on the turn. So I need to have 1 bluff in my range for every value for every one of these hands. So that's going to come out to 48 to 24. So I need to find 24 bluffs. I could find 24 bluffs. In fact, probably the easiest way to do that would just be to say any backdoor flush draw, right? Because the heart ones I've already accounted for. So now I'm just kind of bluffing any backdoor backdoor diamonds, any backdoor spades, and that'll come out to 24 more hands. And there you go. You've got a complete strategy, right? So forget ace king for a second here. Find a different hand that I'd be willing to play pre-flop. Okay, here's a hand, 10-7 suited. So let's say I raise pre-flop with 10-7 suited. Let's this guy was the big blind anyway. So I raise, say, to $1.50. Small blind folds, big blind calls, and the flop comes out 8-5 king and all different suits. I've got 10-7 of clubs. I'm probably just going to wave the white flag here, right? I'm probably not going to continue betting. Okay, well that's one scenario. Let's try another. I wouldn't play that hand. Nope, wouldn't play that one. Okay, here's a hand I might play from the button. So I play this, I raise, get a call from the big blind. Okay, and here comes the flop. Okay, I've got a backdoor flush draw, right? Another heart will give me a flush draw. And I got some kind of backdoor straight draws as well, right? Like a 6 will give me an open-ended straight draw. A 9 will give me a gut shot. 10 will give me a gut shot. Yeah, there's a few different things here going on where I could get some some draws. So I'm going to bluff in this situation. And yeah, let's say I bluff. Oh, I don't know. The pot's $3.25. Let's say I bet $3. So that's almost a full pot bet. So this guy should call, if he thinks he's good, at least a third of the time-ish. So let's say he calls. All right. To the turn we go. Oh, and here I've got a straight draw, right? I've got actually kind of an open-ended. If a 6 rolls off, I get the straight, right? And then if a 10 rolls off, I also get the straight. So I would probably bluff here again, right? And maybe I go with, I don't know, maybe I just put $5 in. But, you see what I'm doing here. There's some hands that you're going to bluff on the flop and then stop, right? So like, let's say instead of the 9, let's say, that's a bad example too. Let's say this card had come up on the turn rather than the 9. Well, in this situation, I have no flush draw. I have no straight draw at all. I have jack high. My hand sucks. I should probably just give up here. So I'll check, and if I face any aggression on the river, I'm going to fold, right? But yeah, you want to build a complete strategy that you kind of have an idea of, okay, these are the hands I'm betting on the flop, and then if they don't improve, I'm going to, check the turn, and then, I'll bet this hand on the flop in the turn, but I'll give up on the river, etc. Right? That's kind of having a full strategy. And what I just described here, all this math, was the bluff to value ratio. Now, doing all that can be kind of complicated to figure out in your brain. So what I like to just keep in mind, roughly, on the river, you want roughly two value bets for every one bluff. On the turn, you want one value bet for every bluff. And on the flop, you want one value bet for every 2 bluffs. This is in the scenario that you are heads up against somebody else. This does not apply in multi-way hands. I'll get to those later. But and this is if you're betting like big size bets, like I'd say 2/3 to 100% of the pot, right? This is not, if you're betting 1/3 of the pot, then you're going to have fewer bluffs. The more you bet, the more bluffs you're going to fit in your range, right? Because like in this scenario, I'm betting half pot, only 1/4 of my range is bluffs. Over here, I'm betting full pot, 1/3 of my range is bluffs, right? So when you bet small, you should have a good hand most of the time. And only when you bet big should you be bluffing. Because after all, you want the other guy to fold. Okay, that was a lot of information in one video. I'm going to stop it here, and if I forgot something, I'll cover it in another video.